Before you listen to this episode, we would like to say that we address some pretty serious stuff in the episode. We do not mean to cause any drama or start anything. We just had to address this because a lot of people were asking us about it. I'm recording this after we recorded the episode because after re-listening to it, it does sound a bit provoking and it does sound like we are trying to call things out, which we are, but we do not mean to cause any drama. Enjoy the episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Complexity Podcast. Before we start today, April 28th is Jan's birthday, so happy birthday, Jan.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, so today this is kind of an unusual video that we usually wouldn't do, and something you guys want in the future, but we just had to address it and just talk about it.
Yeah, alright, so recently we've, yesterday for us, the 27th, we got a couple messages on our page and on our personal pages as well, asking us about this new brand or apparel brand, I guess, and it's called Apparel Complexity. The Complexity was with an E, and we just got a couple messages and people asking us if we were related or if we were working together, if it's the same person, but it was obviously another person that did it, and it's another Haitian person too, so it's kind of around the same people. So we just wanted to address it.
Okay, so basically, I think everyone knows that it's no two companies have the same name, especially because like it can hurt both companies and stuff like that. So we kindly asked this person like if there's any way they could change their name because their page just hasn't even been up for 24 hours. So we're like, you haven't published anything, you have no work, you don't have that many followers yet. Not a lot of people are even aware that your company exists. And we basically said that we have more to lose because we've already established a business, we've already had videos published, we have clothing coming soon, we already have designs and stuff like that. But this guy doesn't really have any of that. So he has nothing to lose by changing his name. And we didn't want to be rude. We didn't want to come off as arrogant or anything. We messaged him kindly and stuff like that. I mean, the whole DM, I think we kept it professional.
Yeah,
But
we
didn't want to cause
the
drama.
whole DM, we were just so professional and whatnot, and then the person responding was, I don't know, kind of a bit aggressive, but I mean it's probably easier for us to make allegations and say things and say like point out the bad things about them, while us, I mean some of our messages were kind of aggressive, but we felt like we had to kind of be aggressive because our company has been here for a while, and like the Complexity name was already established, and like around the people that like it's a podcast created by William and Jan, and it's like it was I don't want to say it was our thing, but it was our thing basically, and then it was kind of already established to be our thing, and then this new company comes in with the Complexity but with the E, and we just like Ian said, we really DM'd them like on some just the kindest stuff and on just like the nicest stuff, and we asked them if they wanted to change their name, and they mentioned a bunch of stuff. Like we don't want to give out the conversation too much because obviously it was a private conversation between two brands, but they mentioned that the name was what, like it had sentimental value, but in a professional world, like those things don't hold any value, right? If the name was something you've been working on for 10 years, or if it was something you've been working on for one day, like that doesn't really hold value on a professional standpoint. And they really kept on just mentioning that, and it was kind of annoying. And at the end of the day, they said that they're not changing their name, and there's no way they're gonna change it. It's a new company, they don't want to change it. They said that there's basically no way they're gonna change it. So Ian and I, we've been debating if we should change our name because in the future it's definitely gonna cause confusion, because We have our own clothing like company as well, and that we plan on developing. It's always been here. It's been here since even before the podcast was created. It's been here. We just merged them together, and our what's on our mind is, should we rebrand and change the name, or should we keep the name and risk being associated with another company that we wouldn't want to be associated with?
Yeah, especially since, well, for me, I'm having a lot of like thoughts about rebranding and stuff like that, especially since about like the clothing stuff, because we've already had shirts. We have shirts printed in the States. We have shirts for Complexity. We have it also known as Controlled Chaos. We have that. And I put some of my own personal money into printing those shirts. And if we have to rebrand those names, if we have to rebrand our company, that's just gonna be annoying because then I have wasted shirts that I can't sell because it doesn't represent our company.
Exactly, because one of our biggest worries was like, let's say the company turns out to flop and the designs are bad or whatever, right? The apparel complexity, people are gonna associate it with the Complexity Podcast, right? Because one thing they did mention a lot in the DMs was, it was that, oh, their name is Apparel Complexity and our name is just Complexity. But we all know, like, I think it's pretty obvious to everybody, like, in an ideal world, no one's gonna call them Apparel Complexity. People are just gonna call them Complexity. And also, on their designs, on their, like, shirt designs, it's never really gonna say Apparel Complexity. Apparel's just there to show that it's an apparel company. But we all know that it's just gonna be called Complexity. And so that's another thing that really, well, bothered me, is that they really just mentioned that their company name is Apparel Complexity, but the apparel's basically irrelevant. We all know it's just for their Instagram or whatever. But like, once they grow to be a big company, if they grow to be a big company, it's not gonna, the apparel's not gonna last. It's just gonna become Complexity.
I just want to give my personal view because I think this is like very childish from apparel complexity because I mean if anything if you want to start a business you have to know the basics of business and obviously when you start a business you don't want no business would want to have the same name as another business because it will end up hurting profits. So I just find this person who's stubborn and this person probably already know about complexity obviously.
Definitely,
We
definitely.
this person already know. So I don't think the person like really knows anything about business and doesn't realize that what he's doing right now, he's probably gonna dig his own grave for upper complexity. To be honest, that's my personal view. And if anything, we, I mean, if anything, this could be seen both ways. I mean, we could say that, oh, we don't want them to have the same name, but we can also help him at the same because obviously, if two companies have the same name, he's not gonna profit as well. His company is not gonna do as well. So obviously, if he rebrands, then maybe he'll have a chance to make
I
a
mean,
bigger name. But right now,
that point where you said that the company may be digging its own grave, I don't want to say I completely agree with you, because like, I mean, essentially they're just keeping the name, right? And let's say Complexity Podcast goes to become a big company or a bigger company than they have, and we keep the name Complexity. Maybe then they would be like digging their own grave by keeping the name, because it's kind of like there's always going to be a better complexity, you know. But
yeah,
I feel like in general, just generally speaking, I wouldn't say they're digging their own grave. I just think that it's so like, it's such a it's like such a it's we're not like it's such a simple thing. To me, it's really simple because it's a brand new company. What, haven't been on Instagram for more than 24 hours. Well, like, by the time we DM'd him, they weren't even on Instagram for 24 hours, right? They had less than 50 followers, and we were just kindly asking them to just change their company name. I mean, I don't think it hurts that much to just rethink a couple ideas and see that there's already an established company in the Haitian community with the name Complexity. And well, we've been only here for 20 days, right? And 20 days later, there's another company called Complexity, that makes apparel, while we also make apparel, even though it's under the name of Controlled Chaos, it's still under Complexity. It's just really just, I don't know, man. It bugs me a lot, to be honest.
Yeah. Especially like what's really like bothering me is like this like the person like this person is in our community, is in the Haitian community, knows about this stuff, like knows about complexity, like but still deliberately to like get put complexity as the company name.
All right, but yeah, we just wanna make it clear that we do say things in this episode, but we don't necessarily like want to cause any drama at all. We've messaged the the Complexity apparel brand very respectfully, and it's still all respect. We just had to address this because a lot of people were messaging us and asking us about it, and we just wanted to give our opinion about it. But yeah, every Wednesday there's gonna be a new episode. We have a lot of guests in mind. We don't want to give it out away too early, but it's there's definitely big things planned for the future.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to just like to make a quick video. Obviously, our video is gonna be more entertaining next time. I have more guests. I know you guys are gonna love the next episodes. And just think this is the last time we'll ever address anything like this. Hopefully. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this quick episode.